Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Don't ask. Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 7. I just watched the episodes 5 and 6. If you want to see my reaction video about that, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. I'm gonna watch right now 2 more episodes of the show, the episodes 7 and 8, because you know that with Battlestar Galactica all along my journey with the binge watching of this show, because I made the binge watching of all of the show, the miniseries, the season 1, the season 2, the season 3, the movie Razor, and now the season 4, I'm forced to put the intro and review part right there on YouTube and the reaction part on another platform that you can find on the description. But please stay with me. It's a way to reward me for my hard work on this show, and it's also something that can be interesting for you to know my thoughts about this show, my theories about it, my analysis also of the way that they are making evolutions for the show, for the characters, in the way of writing it, producing it, and all of that. About what happened during the 2 last episodes, a lot of things happened into them. They were really working together. They were great, but they left me with so many questions and so many theories into my head. And like I said during my review of the last episode, I think that I believe in myself and my theories at like 10%. I am really the impression that today all of my theories, thoughts, and all of what I said during the episode and after it are wrong. I am just so wrong, so far away from the truth, except for the fact that I really think that the writers were inspired by the story of Cassandra into the Greek mythologies, you know. I think that they were really inspired by Cassandra to write Starbuck, the character of Starbuck during this season. The fact that she knows the truth, she knows how to go to Earth, but no one is believing her and everyone is thinking that she's crazy because of the fact that she acts, you know, a little crazy, but she acts like that because no one is believing her, you know. There is something right there, you know, which is inspired by the story of Cassandra, who was having predictions about the future, but who was also cursed by Apollo for no one to believe into what she was gonna say. So I think that there is something right there, and the fact that it's Apollo cursed her, you know, because of the fact that Cassandra didn't love him. That's it, you know. I really think that there is something right there. But for all of my other theories, I have really trouble to believe that I'm right. The big thing, you know, which is making me think that is the fact that when the hybrid told to Starbuck all of this stuff, the fact that she was gonna lead them to their destruction, I thought that it was great because we knew that since the movie Razor, but Starbuck didn't know that before. I'm glad that now she knows that she can lead humanity to destruction. I think that we are speaking about humanity, you know, not about the Cylons. And I love the fact that now she knows that because she's gonna have to work on that, you know, and to think that maybe she's leading them to a trap, that she didn't see really Earth, that she was brainwashed or something like that. And at least now she knows, you know, she can decide what she's gonna do with that, but at least now she knows. And she said also something about the 3 missing, it's Diana. I think that they are right with that interpretation. The 3 missing knows the 5 faces, the 5 Cylons, great, but they said something about the fact that it's gonna lead them to the home of the 13th. And they interpreted that the home of the 13th tribe, Earth. But I interpreted that differently at minute 1 that they said it, because of the fact that they were talking about silence, the 3 missing, the 3 silent missing, the 5 silent, the 13th silent. So for me, I'm beginning to think that we have a 13th silent, which would be also logical with the fact that, you know, all is working in parallel. Like having 12 silence when we add in fact 13th tribe, I mean, we thought that we had only 12 tribe, you know, with the 12 planets and all of that, but at the end they told about a 13th tribe, so why not a 13th silence? Since the beginning, we think that we have only 12 silence because they said it, but we know that they don't know about the 5 silence. They don't know who are the 5 silence, who are the 5 final faces. They are programmed to not think about it. Can it be possible that they are also programmed to not know that there is a certain silence? And we as a viewer, we think that because the silence are saying that, but also because they wrote that into the opening credit of the show since the first season. But can it be possible that they lied to us? I'm really beginning to think about that because of all of these times, you know, when I watched the movie and they were making me search for who killed that person. I was suspecting everyone during all of the movie, and at the end, in fact, the person was not dead, and I was feeling like they've got me, but they lied to me. So of course I was not gonna understand the truth before it being revealed. If you lied to me, you asked me to search for something, but when you told me that, in fact, you lied to me about, you know, the conditions of the game. So of course I was gonna be wrong, and I have the impression that right there, maybe I'm gonna be wrong also because they lied to me about the fact that we had only 12 silence. But again, maybe I'm really going too far with that, and maybe we have only 12 silence. I'm not sure. And really, this new theory which come just right there, just because of an instinct which is maybe totally wrong, like I believe that this theory is at 19% wrong, but this new theory could work with the other one that I had about one of the silence being based on the one who created at first the human silence. My head hurts. I mean, this 13th silence could be this silence who is based on the one who created them. But they said creators the other times, you know, that 6, when she talked about her origin, she said creators. Oh, I don't know. And I still don't know if Starbuck is a silent or not. I'm still having this theory about Gaius being a silent. I'm not giving up on that. But for Starbuck, I don't know what happened to her during that time that she thought that she was on Earth. For that time situation, you know, if she's human, maybe it can be explained because she wanted to a black hole, a wormhole or something like that. And if she's not human, she's a silent. In fact, it's the time that they needed to resurrect her, to make her forget all of that about the fact that she's a silent, and to brainwash her, you know, for her to fall into that trap. If you want to hear really all of my theories about Starbuck and how she survived and what she saw and all of that, I made long intros and reviews about that during my binge watching of the 4 first episodes. I'm gonna put the links, you know, into the eye if you want to check that, because really I think that I already made a long intro right there, so I'm not gonna repeat all of these theories again. I have so many theories about so many stuff with this show. I really hope that they're gonna answer to all of that before the end of it. Please don't tell me spoilers about it on the comments. But can you reassure me with that? Can you promise me that they're gonna answer to everything? I really want that, because this show is great, you know, it's so well done, so well written, that I'm believing into the writers to do it, to answer to all of my questions. But right now I have the impression to have so many questions that I'm doubting a little. So please, if you can reassure me in the comments by telling me that I'm gonna have the answers to everything, it would be great. If you can do that for me. If they can do that also for me. I know the show is out since a long time, so they already made that choice. But for me, no. Okay, that's already a long intro and I still have 2 episodes to watch today. I'm sorry for my hair, you know, I gave up. During the 2 episodes that I watched today, you know, the episode 5 and 6, you saw me fighting with my hair, I gave up, so now like that, it's like that, you know, it's Sunday, I gave up. So let's go for this episode 7. You have the reaction part on the description, and then come back for the review of the episode 5, then go back for the reaction part for the episode 8, and then the review of the 2 episodes together right here. Let's go! You know, it's a moment for the pillow, I'm like that. Like, what? I'm scared. I don't know of what exactly, but I'm scared, I'm feeling scared. I was scared for Gaeta to lose his leg, then I was scared for him to die. Now I'm a little scared for him to lose his mind because of the pain. I'm scared for all of them who were into that ship, the silent ship that just jumped and we don't know where, and they can't come back. Or maybe they can if the hybrid will decide it, but not just by themselves. They made that clear before during the last episodes. And Athena just killed 6. I mean, we didn't know this model of 6, so I'm not gonna be sad for her, but it can't be good. The Centurions, you know, they are independent now. If you are telling them that one of the Cylons who preferred to be on the human side just killed a Cylon, one of them, they're gonna want to respond, you know, to have revenge. How can you justify that, you know? You're trying to make a deal with them, to make peace with them. How can you justify that you just killed that number 6? Because of dreams that you had about her taking your child. Not her, you know, maybe another model of this 6. I can't believe that Athena just did that. I mean, I can understand because she wants to protect her kid and she thinks that 1/6 is gonna take away her kid. So she's gonna kill all of the 6 so that she can. But how can you justify that for everyone? They're gonna accuse you of murder and of also risking a war with the Cylons and the Centurions and all of them. Hera! Oh, she frightened me, that kid. Bye-bye! Quoi? Bye-bye? What bye-bye? You scared me, kid, really. You're a creepy kid, Hera. You were nice, but now that you talk, you're not. And you're making all of these drawings about a blonde Cylon. Like, this is not your mummy. Can you make a drawing about your mummy and your daddy and not that blonde Cylon? I don't know why, but I think that she was painting the woman in red. I mean, if she was painting one model of the Cylons, she was painting Caprica or the woman in red, you know, the number 6, in Gaius' head. It's weird, no? But maybe Hera, you know, she's also making these dreams with Athena, with Caprica, and with the president. Maybe Hera is also making these dreams. But I have the impression that right there, Gaius, he discovered about the opera house, so he never made these dreams. That's weird. The symbolic of it, you know, Athena, she was trying to protect everyone into this vision. The president, she was more interested by her, you know, but she's like that with her since the beginning. When Caprica, or that number 6, the woman in red, was more like, this is my child, this is the face of the future which is gonna come. Caprica, the woman in red, you know, the number 6 in general, they want to have kids. Since the beginning, they want that. I know you're gonna tell me that during the miniseries one of them killed a baby, but for me it was because of the fact that she knew that this baby was gonna die during the war, and it was almost like an act of, I don't know how to say it, compassion maybe, to kill her, to kill the baby before that. For me, this number 6, they want a baby, you know, they want kids. They want to be sure that their race, I don't know how to say it in another way, is gonna survive because of the fact that Silence and Human are gonna make babies together. I don't know so many things. At least now the president is okay to consider that Starbuck can have a destiny, visions, and can work with her. Finally, you are hearing what Starbuck is saying. And finally, also, we have the president talking to the quorum and not denying that they need to know the truth, or at least to trust you, and for you to trust them, you know. Consider them, just that. But to have the 6 just right there talking to the quorum, it was really like the representative of the silence in front of the representatives of all of the people, the humans. Like that's it, we are beginning to make deal with them, we are beginning to try to do stuff with them. Soon, you know, we are gonna kill all of the other silence, but keep them as allies and try to live with them maybe on Earth, something like that. Yeah. I'm still not sure that Gaeta is gonna survive. He lost his leg, but he survived. But how is he right now feeling pain and singing like that? I want to see him, you know, back at work, and I would be relieved when I would see that. Before that, I'm still worried. But yes, I'm really scared. At the end of this episode, I really want, you know, to be like... It scared me, this episode scared me. And I think that the music played an important part of that. I don't know if you paid attention to that, but the music during this episode were really great, but also important and interesting. For the tonality of it, you know, we know now what kind of theme they are using when they are talking about silent stuff. And during some moments during this episode where they were talking about human stuff, in fact they were using the silence music. That disturbed me at first, but I really think that this is important because it's also a way for the producers, you know, for the writers to tell us that that's it, we are mixing that. And I think that all of the scenes also, when we saw silence on the deck and all of that, it was also to show us that's it. Silence are with humans and humans are with silence, and they are making deals. There is something happening right there. I think that it was really important, the music, as much as all of the other scenes where they were explaining that, you know, the symbolic of 6, again speaking to the quorum, but also all of these scenes showing that we have silence on the deck and all of that. I think that this is really important. Okay, I'm gonna watch one more episode right now, so let's go! This episode was exhausting. I don't know how to say it in another way, but really, I'm feeling tired because so many important things happen, you know, so many informations. the number 6 died. That was the opening scenes. Asina is in jail with Hera with her. She's losing it a little. Lee is now the president. Lumpkin lost his cat. We saw the cat, but the cat was not really there. How many people in this fleet have visions, hallucinations, and stuff like that? Like, I'm tired of all of them having visions and hallucinations. It's not helping me to know who is a Cylon or not. It's really beginning to be too much, you know, all of them. They have hallucinations, visions, dreams. That's it. I have enough of it. You can't use, you know, I mean the writers, they can't use the same tool again and again and again to explain stuff, to make big surprise and stuff like that. It's beginning to be too much. Right there really the cat narrative arc during this episode was too much for me. Like, I have enough. I can accept, you know, visions and dreams and hallucinations and stuff like that that you can explain because of drugs that the president is taking, that you can explain because they are silent and they are connected, that you can explain by the real bond that Gaius has with 6, but right there it's too much, too many. She's pregnant. Caprica is pregnant, and I knew that. You saw my reactions. I knew that. Why did I know that? I thought about Gaius, not about the colonel. But she didn't see Gaius since a long time, so it can't be Gaius. And she spent a lot of time with the colonel, so maybe it's really the colonel. We didn't see them sleeping together. Maybe they slept together, but we didn't see it. We saw them kissing, we saw them fighting, we saw them doing so many stuff. Maybe they didn't show us that. But it's weird, it's really weird. It's even weirder for me because of the fact that I knew it. Because also I said during, I don't know if it's my review of the last episode or my intro of the 2 episodes together right there in this video, I said that number 6, Caprica and all of the other models, they have something in common. It's the fact that they want to have kids. They want to have kids with humans, to have the new face of the things which are gonna come, the future, but also because they really want that, you know, right there. When this model was talking about kids in the past, each model, when they were talking about kids, it was coming from a visceral thing, you know, like they are almost programmed to want kids. So maybe that's why I was thinking of it when they said that Dr. Carter discovered something on one number 6. I thought immediately that she was pregnant. Maybe it's because of that, because I can't explain why I thought about it if it's not that, because again we didn't see her with no one since a long time. During all of these years and months she slept with Gaius, but she didn't have any child, and she slept what? Once or twice with the colonel, and she had the kid just like that. I thought that they were forced to be in love with the one with who they were making love to have a kid with that person. That's what they said, you know, the silence. That's why they were so interested by Asina baby. Caprica, she's not in love with the colonel. Oh, she... And we don't have news about the president, Gaius. And it's weird, not the fact that we don't have news about them, but the fact that we didn't see the consequences of the fact that Gaius is missing. That's really weird, because we saw how many fanatics he has now into his sect, you know. So all of these fanatics losing their god or the chosen one, just that, I think that they are angry or afraid or something like that. Like, we have to see them reacting, we have to see a reaction, a riot, something. to have nothing about them during this episode, that was not really logical, you know, with what we saw about it during the last ones. So yes, Lee is the president. I'm glad. I think that he's gonna make a good president. I'm not sure for how long. I mean, when Rosalind is gonna come back, maybe he's gonna give her back that place. But after that she's gonna die, so maybe he's gonna take it back. I think that he can be a really good president by interim, but I'm not sure that he can be a good president for a long time. I want to see him in action to decide that. But he's the one we follow, who is thinking always about making the right decision, the fair decision for democracy, take a shot, so he can be a good president because of that. I want to see him in action, really. But we have now the colonel being the commander, the silent being the commander, but I believe the colonel, you know, for keeping on the human side no matter what. But still, we have him as a commander. And we have Adama's father waiting like that in his ship, reading a book and waiting for Rosalind to come back, like beep beep. No, she's not there. Okay. Tick. No. How long is he gonna wait? And how long are they gonna wait for him on the next jump? About what happened to Rosalind and the other ones, I really don't know. I really don't think that they died. But we saw that there was a battle moment that would be logical with the fact that the hybrid jumped like that to a place that we didn't know, and maybe the hybrid, you know, decided to jump back to the Silent Fleet. So that's why we had fights between them. That would be logical. The Centurions and the other Silents who were with, you know, the number 6 who died, they didn't do anything. I mean, we didn't have any consequences of that. With the Silents who are there, Leo Ben, all of the 8s, and also the Centurions. That's weird also, no? I mean, all of these discussions that Lee had with Lampkin, all of these things with Adama, it was days, you know, that we had right there. So they had time to know what was happening and to react to something. Or maybe they are keeping that for the next episode, you know, the consequences of all of what happened during this one with the fanatics of Gaius and with the Silents who are now on the Galactica. Maybe they are keeping that to really explore these subjects for new episodes which are gonna come, I mean for the next ones, but it's not really logical in my opinion if they are keeping that for the next episode. You understood me. Really? This episode was exhausting. Too many informations. I have the impression that I didn't talk about all of them. I'm searching, you know, which one I forgot. Why Starbuck and also Essina and also Caprica are not telling anyone about the Opera House vision? It would explain, you know, why the president did that and what was her plan. They need to know why are they not talking. I mean, especially Starbuck, she was the one to say that directly to the president, the fact that the hybrid said that, and that's why the president wants to see the hybrid. She didn't tell anyone. Starbuck. I will discover that on another day, because it's all for today for you and for me for Battlestar Galactica. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.